A lot of times, like when girls get older, they start like losing confidence and start like thinking poorly about themselves. And this is to kind of like help build their confidence and make sure they feel good about themselves and like empowered and strong, so they can make good choices, and just kind of builds them confidence to help them later in life. And if they're confident now, they're going to be confident for the rest of their life.
So if young females feel good about themselves and they're in an area where they have a positive environment and it creates positive body image, then we're creating confidence, and that then creates future leaders, and that's kind of our whole idea that we're trying to accomplish with our program.
It's important to have a program for girls and to develop that side of them too. And I think eventually it's something that they'll bring to their community and they'll be able to be leaders in the future.
And the great thing about boxing specifically is that when I started boxing just for fun a few years ago, after I would leave, I felt so much stronger. So while it's not really a self-defense thing, in a way it kind of is, because you feel a lot more confident not only in your own ability but also just in yourself, the way you walk after, the way you feel stronger. Boxing takes a lot of coordination, so once you get the hang of it, it's actually a really big accomplishment.
If you focus on youth being physically literate today, it's going to help youth in being healthier youth and being more active youth and kind of getting them away from technology.
Being physically active is very important for your well-being, and expressing yourself with it, I feel like it's more fun and it comes more naturally like that.
Usually I don't get like time to do it, and like for something like Zumba, like it was like really fun and it makes me like motivated to stay healthy and stuff.
It's a workout in disguise, basically. So what you're doing is you're burning a lot of calories and you're having fun at the same time.
It's a great opportunity to make new friends, keep fit, have fun.
Well, tennis is a sport that it's slowly growing. It wasn't very popular before, but now it's growing very fast. And tennis is it's something that the girls, specifically the girls, are a bit more intimidated. There's more boys that play tennis. So I think it's important to have a program for girls and to develop that side of them too. The first session we tried to do just basic ground strokes, just so that they're able to have a rally. And it's not necessarily about having the point, but more about holding the point. But for now, it's just the start for them in tennis, so it's just getting them out there, getting them to know the sport and to be confident.
We were brought in and trained on being physical literacy facilitators. So basically we were taught what is physical literacy. Canadian Sport for Life came in and they taught us how to do physical literacy testing and different ways to do the testing. So as a coach, kind of what to expect as a participant, as a parent, and really as an outsider. Canadian Sport for Life had come in and they had actually put us through physical literacy testing. They're like, okay, this is what we're gonna put you guys through, and then you're gonna practice on each other, and then this is what we need you to go out and do in your own neighborhoods. So one thing I want to redefine is what it means to be an athlete. It's not about putting on a uniform, it's about putting yourself out there and pushing yourself to do things that maybe you didn't think you could do. And I kind of like breaking out of the mold of what you find society expects from females. And that's something that I want to do with this program is, females shouldn't do what society kind of leads them to believe they have to do. You can break out of that mold, break those barriers down, and do something different. We don't stop playing because we grow old because we stop playing.
We had to come back to our community and start an action project. But what we had to do first was partner with another organization. That was the main priority, is find an organization that kind of aligns with our vision and then go from there. So we partnered with Laws, and Laws is a leadership advancement for women in sport. It gets people, like girls around Windsor, specifically grade school and high school girls who don't primarily engage in sports or gym class, kind of getting them out and moving. But what we had to do was find another group of high school girls that we could interview and would be accepted into our program too. So we had interviews, we did training, and we selected 7 girls from around Windsor, all different high school, grades 9, 10, and 1 in grade 11, so they're really young. And our job is kind of to mold them into leaders. And they're all pretty much, we call them the cream of the crop already. They are great leaders already. They're engaged in a lot of sports. They're passionate. They have a huge vision for changing the world. But our job is kind of to bring them into an organization that kind of aligns with their philosophy and help them help us, and then help Windsor abroad.
The best way to be able to teach it is to know how it works. So like they give a simple instruction, and then the kid has to carry it out. And you see if they need like extra explanation and just how they do it, and if they understand, not like how well they did it, but their understanding of it.
So we're with Motivate Canada, we're with Laws, but we wanted to give these girls kind of their own thing, their own identity, something to be proud of and say, hey, I'm part of this organization, I helped start it. So actively engaging female leaders was kind of a way to say that we're female leaders specifically, because we want to emphasize that we're girls and we're women and we're powerful too, and we can be in powerful positions as well, but we're also active. So actively engaging female leaders. It was just kind of something that came to us. It took a lot of brainstorming, a lot of up and downs to know what we were going to do, and finally it stuck with that. It's a long name, but I think it's better to keep it long because it really embodies everything that we are. We want to give them opportunities not only to engage in physical activity, but also to become leaders as well.
It really actually makes me like feel good about myself that I'm like helping out these other girls and making their lives better and making a change, and that's what I want to do when I get older, is change something. So this is like the first step on the road for it.
First session, I gave out some questionnaires to all the parents, and most of them, they thought that the girls were a little too young for the questions, so they were a little bit hesitant on that. So instead what we decided to do is just try to analyze each one of them personally on the court, to see exactly where they stand and what their coordination is like and their physical capabilities for everything. So instead of doing physical tests with them separately from everyone else, because they're a little younger, we decided that it was maybe a little too intimidating for them, so we kind of just watched them separately during the session. After that, as we progress, we really focus on each one in particular and more their life outside of just tennis. So obviously we play games in tennis, but we also try to incorporate it in more than just tennis. So it's not just a for fun program. They also know the concept of bringing that outside of their sport. I think they understand that it's not just on the courts that this is important. It's also on the outside and for everything in general in life. And I think eventually, like, they're pretty young right now, but it's important to get the basic of it and the concept. And I think eventually it's something that they'll bring to their community and they'll be able to grow with that. For me, it's really personal because I grew up at this club and I had a lot of role models. So that was my goal coming here and doing this program. I wanted to be a role model for them and to do what the other people did to me. So I think that's more the impact that I want to have on the girls. It's more getting them to be confident and getting them to be more active and to love sport, because I know that it intimidates a lot of girls. So that's mostly my goal, and I want them to be able to be leaders in the future as well.
Physical literacy is trying to make people active for over a lifetime. So we're really working at, if you learn the basics, then you'll enjoy being physically active. You'll be able to do more physical activities, and you'll want to be active for all of your life.
Just giving them a chance to engage in physical activity without judgment, without feeling insecure. So it's a really, really safe environment, and we wanted to make sure that everybody knows nobody has experience. Nobody has to feel funny. Nobody has to feel like insecure about their body, and that was a really important thing for us. So physical literacy is all about teaching them, I think is about everything, about the whole body experience of learning how to move your body in a safe way, but also in a more confident way. And if girls aren't engaging in physical activity from a young age, they're not becoming physically literate. So that's what we want to kind of change in our community and kind of get in there where the kids are young and get them to be physically literate so that they have those essential skills for life.